Hey friends, happy Saturday, the 17th of December. Getting close to the fourth Sunday of Advent. Christmas draws near. Nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I will give you a reflection on the daily readings, and then I invite you to turn off your screen, spend some time with God before you move on to other things. I hope that today can be a day of rest and recreation to those of us who work regular work weeks. Invitation to the Sacrament of Reconciliation today, Saturday, 2 to 3:30, over at Our Lady of Sorrows, A Street in Broadway. We have a community celebration of the Sacrament of Penance with priests from around the region. Monday, 6 o'clock, Our Lady of Sorrows. We've got some extra time scheduled. Tuesday, 12:30, Wednesday in the evening, I think at 6, and next Saturday morning in the morning at 8 a.m. If you'd like to hit that sacrament before Christmas time, I'd love to celebrate it with you. Okay, we have now moved into the second part of Advent, a time of much more intentional preparation for the Christ to come, preparing our hearts for the mystery of the Incarnation in the Nativity, the birth of Jesus Christ. The Gospel is the genealogy of Matthew. We moderns, we hate genealogies. I mean, we just glaze over our eyes. And so it might just be enough for you to stumble over the names of the people in the genealogy and to think about who they are and who they were. I'll highlight a couple of things. This is the genealogy of Jesus Christ, son of David, son of Abraham. And so in Luke's gospel, it's Jesus Christ, son of Adam, son of God. So they're doing different things theologically. Matthew is wanting to make sure that we understand that this is the promise of God through David, the king. Abraham, right? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the three prophets. The three patriarchs, right? The fathers of the Jewish family and the Jewish nation. The promises made to Abraham, your descendants shall be as numerous as the stars in the sky or the sand on the seashores. Your descendants shall inherit the land and inhabit the land. Those are promises to Abraham. And so we start with the names of father to son, father to son, father to son. And we see at the end of the genealogy that it's intentional, like God is part of this, right? 7 is the number of wholeness and perfection in the Jewish worldview. And so the total number of generations from Abraham to David is 14, 7 and 7. The total number of generations from David to the Babylonian exile, that terrible time that it felt like God was apart from them, but it turns out God was in the midst of it. 14 generations, 7 and 7. From the Babylonian exile to the Christ, 14, 7 and 7. God prepared, always, always, always. So, last thing to pay attention to, whenever there's a woman, God is doing something surprising. And so I'm probably going to miss one of them. But we've got Judah became the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. And that was how Judah was refusing to honor the law of God and to bring Tamar into a household. He was leaving her as a widow. God was doing something new. Boaz became the father of Obed, whose mother was Ruth, the foreigner, and God doing something new in order to bring into Jesse, and then David. And then there might be another one, I can't remember, but then of course we get Mary, and we'll find out later on that God's doing something surprising with Mary in this conception. And Joseph is going to be the one that especially is spoken to in Matthew's gospel. So read them. Read the names. Just be with the awkwardness of the genealogy. Trust that God's doing something new in our midst, surprising in our midst. Ask for the eyes to see it as we prepare for Christmas. 14 generations, 7 and 7. God just preparing. It can feel so often like there's no point. We're just going through the motions. Maybe we just rest in the midst of it, that all of it is in process, and we never see it. We never fully comprehend. But that's part of the mystery of surrender, and that trust that God is indeed present, cares, and is bringing everything into peace, justice, and mercy in Jesus Christ and through our participation. If you're interested in praying the prophecy from Genesis, the key here is Judah, the mace, the symbol of power shall not depart from Judah, a patriarch blessing from Jacob to, all of his sons, and we especially get Judah's promise. And Judah is the house of King David. David line to Jesus through Joseph, all of that kind of stuff. God always faithful to the promises. All right, enough talking about the genealogy, right? God help us. Go read it. Don't let those eyes glaze over. Happy Saturday. Go to reconciliation at some point, friends. God bless.